Okay, Ardra, Naurin, Nimita, Tushar, Samia, Pranav, Niranjan, Vinayak, Renil, John, all of you, please switch on your videos. Okay, so can you tell me what is this redox reaction? Anyone? Redox reaction. Okay, Niranjan. Redox reaction. Tom Sinton, can you tell me how can we define redox reaction?
Ma'am, a reaction in which both oxidation and reduction takes place.
Yeah, the reaction in which both oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously. Such type of reactions are known as redox reaction. And we have learned several definitions for oxidation and reduction, right? Now we are going to learn how to balance this redox reaction. So all of you please write the heading balancing redox reaction. Balancing redox reaction. We have learned to balance the chemical equations, right? Do you remember? We have learned the steps to balance the chemical equation from standard 10th onwards, isn't it? Just to make the total number of atoms equal on both sides of the chemical equation. Here also we are using the same technique, but some more steps is needed to balance the redox reactions. Okay, so mainly there are two methods are there to balance this redox reaction. First one is oxidation number method and the second one is half reaction method. Okay, so there are two ways or two methods to balance redox reaction. First one is oxidation number method. There are two methods to balance redox reaction. First one is oxidation number method. Oxidation number method. And the second one is half reaction method. Half reaction method. So what is this oxidation number method? We have learned how to find out the oxidation number of each element in a chemical reaction, right? Do you remember? We have learned the valency or oxidation state of some elements, and using this valency or oxidation state, we can able to find out the oxidation number or oxidation state of the remaining elements in a chemical equation. So using this oxidation number, we can able to predict which one is the oxidizing agent and which one is the reducing agent. Okay, the reaction in which oxidation takes place, that element, that is the reducing agent, and the element or the compound in which oxidation takes place, that is reducing agent. Oxidation takes place, that is reducing agent. Reduction takes place, that is oxidizing agent, right? So using this oxidation number method, we will first find out the oxidation number of each element, then which one is the oxidizing agent and which one is the reducing agent. Through this oxidizing agent and reducing agent, we can able to balance the chemical equation. I will tell you each step in detail. Okay. So the first method, that is oxidation number method, it is mainly based on the oxidation number itself. So using the oxidation number, we can able to find out the oxidizing agent and reducing agent. Okay, this is clear? So now we are going to the first method, oxidation number method. Oxidation number method. Oxidation number method. So here there are 5 steps to balance the chemical equation. Okay, 5 steps to balance this chemical redox reaction or chemical equation. So first we can write a question, and through this question we can solve this balancing. Okay. So the question is that reaction of potassium dichromate, reaction of potassium dichromate, that is K2Cr2O7. That's the chemical formula of potassium dichromate. Reaction of potassium dichromate with sodium sulfide, with sodium sulfide, and the chemical formula Na2SO3. Na2SO3 in an acid solution. In an acid solution to give chromium. And in bracket you have to write 3. What does this 3 indicate? Roman letter 3. Anyone can tell me? Malavika, what does this Roman letter 3 indicates?
It is the stock notation of
Stock notation of
the oxidation state.
oxidation state or oxidation number. Very good. So it is the stock notation of oxidation number. That means the oxidation state of chromium, that is 3. Okay. So this chromium ion and sulfate ion. So this is the question for you. Reaction of potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7 with sodium sulfite Na2SO3 in an acid solution to give chromium ion and sulfate ion. Chromium ion and sulfate ion. Okay, next we will go through the steps of this balancing. Okay, so the first step, write down the skeletal ionic equation. Okay, write down the skeletal ionic equation. Not chemical equation, here it is skeletal ionic equation. So you have to represent it in the form of ions. First step, write down the skeletal ionic equation. Here the question is given in the form of a sentence or statement, right? Reaction of potassium dichromate with sodium sulfate in an acid solution to give chromium ion and sulfate ion. So first we have to convert the statement or sentence into the form of an ionic equation. Okay, we know how to write the chemical equation, right? K2Cr2O7 plus Na2SO3 gives chromium, Cr3 plus and SO4 2 minus. That is the chemical equation. Here it is ionic equation. So all the elements or all the constituents should be represented in the form of ions. Clear? This is clear, children, about the first step. You have to write down the skeletal ionic equation of this chemical reaction. So here it is K2Cr2O7. So we will write this one as Cr2O7 2 minus. Okay, instead of K2Cr2O7, we will write Cr2O7 2 minus. And for the second one, that is Na2SO3. So we will write SO3 2 minus. SO3 2 minus. And this one is in aqueous state. This one also in aqueous state. Okay. So these two are the reactants and it will give Cr3 plus. That is chromium ion. That's also in aqueous state. Then plus SO4 2 minus sulfate ion. So this is the skeletal ionic equation of this particular chemical reaction. Cr2O7 2 minus plus SO3 2 minus gives Cr3 plus SO4 2 minus. Okay. This is clear. Do you have any doubt in the first step?
Ma'am,
Yes.
what happened to the potassium and sodium?
We will split it into the form of ions. Okay. It's a compound that is K2Cr2O7. That's a compound. We will split it into the form of ions. K plus and Cr2O7 2 minus. Okay. Similarly, Na2SO3, it can also be split into Na plus then SO3 2 minus. Clear? And here we have to represent it in the form of skeletal ionic equation. That's why this portion is only taken. This is clear, Nimida?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's the first step. Then second step, you can write identify atoms which undergo change in oxidation number in the reaction by assigning oxidation number to all elements. This is the second step. Identify atoms which undergo change in oxidation number in the reaction by assigning oxidation number to all elements. Okay, so we have to rewrite this equation again. Cr2O7 2 minus. This 2 minus, that is common for Cr2O7. Okay, clear children? This 2 minus, that is common for Cr2O7, not for particular oxygen or chromium. That is common for both Cr2O7. Then next one, SO3 2 minus. This 2 minus also common for this SO3. Then again Cr3 plus SO4 2 minus. So in this step, we have to find out the oxidation number of all the elements present in this equation. Clear? We have to find out the oxidation number of all the elements present in this equation. So we know the oxidation number of oxygen, right? What is the common oxidation number or oxidation state of oxygen?
-2.
Yeah, it's -2. You have to always remember the common oxidation state of oxygen, that is -2. Okay. So here we can write the oxidation state of oxygen as -2. Then we have to find out the oxidation number of chromium. And we know that the sum of the oxidation number of all the elements in that molecule or ion, that will be equal to 0 or charge. Right? Here it is 2 minus, so the total will be equal to -2. So we can write here the oxidation number of chromium can be taken as X. And there are 2 chromium atoms, right? Here it is Cr2, isn't it? So it is 2X plus, here the oxidation number of oxygen is -2 into, there are 7 oxygen atoms. So 7. That will be equal to -2 or 2 minus. This is clear? We take the oxidation state of chromium as X. Okay, here there are 2 chromium atoms, that's why it is 2X. Then the oxidation number of oxygen is -2. There are 7 oxygen atoms, so -2 into 7. That will be equal to -2. So 2x minus 14 equal to minus 2. Therefore, 2x equal to minus 2 plus 14 and x equal to 2x equal to 12, x equal to 12 by 2. That is plus 6, right? So plus 6 is the oxidation state of chromium. This is clear? Then again, we can able to find out the oxidation state of sulfur. All of you please try to find out the oxidation state of sulfur. Here the oxidation number or oxidation state of oxygen is minus 2. You can take the oxidation number of sulfur as X. Okay, using the same technique, just find out the oxidation number or oxidation state of sulfur. Can you tell me the oxidation state of sulfur? Anyone?
6.
Plus 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me check. Wait. Here, we can assume that the oxidation number of sulfur is X, right? X. X plus, here it is 3 oxygen atoms and the oxidation state or oxidation number of oxygen is minus 2. So minus 2 into 3, right? That will be equal to minus 2. So X minus 6 equal to minus 2. So X equal to minus 2 plus 6. That is plus 4, right? Plus 4. What about your answer, children? Gaia? Plus 4, right? Yes, okay. So plus 4 is the oxidation number or oxidation state of sulfur. Okay. Then in the case of the chromium, it is already written as 3 plus. No need to find out again. Okay. Then the next one, you have to find out the oxidation number of sulfur in SO4 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. So please try to find out SO4 2 minus.
Plus 6.
Plus 6. Okay. So here it is, can be taken as x. X plus minus 2 into 4, that will be equal to minus 2. So x minus 8 equal to minus 2. Then x equal to minus 2 plus 8. So x equal to plus 6. Okay. So these are the oxidation number or oxidation state of all the elements in this particular chemical reaction. Okay, Cr, that is plus 6. Then for oxygen, it is minus 2. For sulfur, it is plus 4. Then again in SO4, sulfur is plus 6. So this is the second step. Identify atoms which undergo change in oxidation number in the reaction by assigning oxidation number to all elements. Okay, this is clear about the second step. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt, children? Nothing. Okay. Then we are moving to the third step. Third step. Calculate the increase or decrease. Calculate the increase or decrease in oxidation number. Or oxidation state. Calculate the increase or decrease in the oxidation number or oxidation state.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what does the minus 2 represents in the last step? The equal to minus 2.
Which one? X plus minus 2 into 4?
Equal to minus 2 is there no in every equation.
Yeah. Here the
Wow.
charge is given as minus 2 in this equation, right? That is not a neutral atom or a compound. Here it is represented as ion, right? So there are positive ion or negative ion. So this charge is represented as minus 2 in each chemical reaction.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So if it is a neutral compound, we will take the sum as 0. Here it is ion, that's why we are taken as minus 2. So here calculate the increase or decrease in oxidation number or oxidation state. That's the third step. So you can check the chemical equation and tell me what happens to chromium, the reactant and product. In reactant, chromium, it is plus 6, right? The oxidation number or oxidation state of chromium is plus 6 and it is converted to, what about the oxidation number or oxidation state of chromium in product side?
+3.
Yeah, chromium, that is plus 3. Okay. Then in the case of oxygen, there is no change, right? In all this compounds, it is minus 2 itself. So the next one is sulfur. In the reactant side, it is plus 4. Then what happens in product side? What is the oxidations? Yeah, tell me.
+6.
Yeah, plus 6. Okay. So here chromium plus 6, that is converted to plus 3. And in the case of sulfur, it is plus 4, it is converted to plus 6. So here it is decreases by plus 3, right? Decreases by plus 3. Then here it is increases by plus 2. Increases by plus 2. Clear, children? We have to calculate the increase or decrease in oxidation number or oxidation state. In the case of chromium, it is plus 6 in the reactant side and it is converted to plus 3. And for sulfur, it is plus 4 and it is converted to plus 6. So in the case of chromium, it is decreases by plus 3 and sulfur, it increases by plus 2. Okay. Then in the same step, we have another thing. Okay, just wait. Here we have to cross multiply to make increase or decrease in oxidation state equal. Okay, we have to cross multiply these values to make the both oxidation state equal. That means we have to cross multiply this chromium with +2 and the sulfur with +3 in the chemical equation. Cross multiply to make increase or decrease in oxidation state equal. Okay, then we can rewrite the equation Cr2O7 2 minus plus, here in the case of sulfur it should be multiplied with 3, right? So here it is 3SO3 2 minus. Okay, 3SO3 2 minus. Here we multiply this sulfite ion with 3. And again, in the case of chromium, we should multiply it with 2, right? So it is 2Cr3 plus 2Cr3 plus SO4 2 minus. Okay, cross multiply to make increase or decrease in oxidation state equal. Clear? So in the third step, we calculate the increase or decrease in oxidation number or oxidation state. Then we cross multiply to make increase or decrease in the oxidation state become equal. Okay. Then one more thing we have to complete in this third step, that is balance atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen. No need to balance oxygen and hydrogen. In this step, we have to balance the atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen. So, which are the other elements present in this chemical equation?
Sodium and chromium.
Which one? Sulfur. Yes, right. Sulfur and tell me, which are the other elements? Sulfur and chromium. Okay, sulfur and chromium. So you look at the total number of atoms present on both sides of this equation. In the case of chromium, it is 2, right? In the reactant side, it is 2. The product side also 2. So no need to balance chromium. Then look at the sulfur. Here it is 3 sulfur atoms, right? 3 sulfur atoms in the reactant side, but in the product side, only 1 sulfur. So we need to balance the sulfur by adding or multiplying 3 with this SO4 2 minus. So again, we need to rewrite the equation Cr2O7 2 minus plus 3SO3 2 minus gives 2Cr3 plus 3SO4 2 minus. Clear? This third step has several sub-steps. So first we have to calculate the increase or decrease in the oxidation number or oxidation state. Then we have to cross multiply to make increase or decrease in oxidation state equal. Then we have to balance atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen. Any doubt, children?
Ma'am, can you repeat it again?
Which one? Third step?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. First, we have to calculate the increase or decrease in oxidation number or oxidation state. For this, we have to go through the equation and find out the oxidation state of chromium and sulfur in reactant side and product side. Okay. In the reactant side, chromium is in +6 oxidation state, and in the product side, it is +3 oxidation state. Okay. Next one, in the case of sulfur, it is +4 oxidation state in the reactant side, and in product side, it is in +6 oxidation state. So in the case of chromium, it is decreases by +3 because +6 is converted to +3, right? So it is decreases by +3. And in the case of sulfur, it is +4, it is converted to +6. That means it is increases by +2. Okay, that's the first sub-step in third one. And next step, you have to cross multiply to make increase or decrease in the oxidation state equal. So here it is decreases by +3 in chromium and increases by +2 in sulfur. So we had to cross multiply these values. So 3 should be multiplied with sulfur and 2 should be multiplied with chromium. Okay. Now we rewrite the equation Cr2O7 2 minus +3. This 3 that we multiply with sulfur. Okay. And in the product side it is 2Cr3 plus. That means this 2 it is multiplied with chromium to make this oxidation state equal. Okay. Then the next step, balance the atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen. No need to balance oxygen and hydrogen, but we need to balance the atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen. So chromium and sulfur are the two atoms present in this chemical equation other than oxygen and hydrogen. So in the case of chromium, it is already balanced. So we need to balance sulfur. So we will multiply 3 with SO4 2 minus in the product side. This is clear now? Sarah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the fourth step. Just wait. Write down the fourth step. Check the total ionic charge. Check the total ionic charge in reactant side and product side. Okay. Total ionic charge. So first we can find out the total ionic charge in the reactant side, then product side. Okay. So you tell me, what are the charges present in the reactant side? In Cr2O7 it is 2 minus, right? So here we can write as -2. Okay, -2. That's the charge present in Cr2O7, -2. Then from this second one, 3SO3 2 minus. That means 3 into, here it is -2, right? 3 into -2. 3 that is common for SO3, isn't it? So 3 into -2. So that will be the total charge in the reactant side. And for the product side, it is 2 into 3, right? 2 into 3 plus, here it is 3 into -2. 3 into -2. Do you have any doubt in this one? We have to check the total ionic charge in the reactant side and product side. The reactant side, here it is -2, then plus 3 into -2. So what will be the total? -2 minus 6. That is -8, right? Here it is 6 minus 6. That will be equal to 0. Any doubt, children? We have to check the total ionic charge in reactant side and product side. So here the charge is given -2 and -2 in the reactant side, but here we have to consider this 3 also, because 3SO3 2 minus. So 3 into -2. And in the product side, 2 chromium atoms with 3 plus charge. So it is 2 into 3. Again 3 into -2. So in the product side, it will be okay because it is 0, neutral, right? But in the reactant side, it is -8. That means minus charge is more, right? So in order to make it neutral, we have to add 8 H plus ions in the reactant side. Okay? Write down the step, then we can do 8. To equate the total ionic charge, add H plus ions, if it is acidic, here in the question itself, it is given that acid solution, right? Acid solution. So we have to add H plus ions. If it is basic, we have to add OH minus ions. In this question, it is given as acidic solution. So we will add H plus ions. If in the question it is given as basic solution, we need to add OH minus ions. Clear? So to equate the total ionic charge, add H plus ions if it is acidic. And add OH minus ions if it is basic. Okay. So now we can add 8 H plus ions on the reactant side to make it neutral. So the equation Cr2O7 2 minus plus 3SO3 2 minus plus 8H plus. Okay, 8H plus. Here minus 8, that is minus charge is more. So to make it neutral, we will add 8H plus. Okay, that will give 2Cr3 plus 3SO4 2 minus. Okay, 3SO4 2 minus. This is the fourth step. We have to check the total ionic charge in the reactant side and product side. Then to equate the total ionic charge, add H plus ions if the solution is acidic and add OH minus ions if it is basic. Any doubt in fourth step? Any doubt, children? Shall I move to next one? Fifth step.
Yes, ma'am.
So the fifth step, make number of hydrogen atoms equal by adding H2O. That's the last step. Okay. Make number of hydrogen atoms equal by adding H2O. So here there are 8 hydrogen atoms in the reactant side, right? 8H plus. So how many water molecules should be added in the left side? Sorry, right side? 8H plus. So tell me, how many water molecules should be added? Here it is 4, right? Okay. So it is Cr2O7 2 minus plus 3SO3 2 minus plus 8H plus gives 2Cr3 plus 3SO4 2 minus plus 4H2O. Here it is 4 into 2, 8, right? 4 into 2, 8. So 8 hydrogen atoms in the right side and 8 hydrogen atoms in the left side. Now everything is balanced. So these are the 5 steps required to balance the redox reaction in oxidation number method. This is clear now? Have we completed? Okay, then we can again go through the different steps. Okay, we can start from the first step. So in the first step, you have to write down the skeletal ionic equation. The question should be in the form of a statement or a sentence. Okay, so you have to convert this chemical reaction into the form of a chemical equation and you have to carefully write the skeletal ionic equation, not chemical equation. Skeletal ionic equation is needed. So here it is Cr2O7 2 minus plus SO3 2 minus gives Cr3 plus SO4 2 minus. Then second step, identify the atoms which undergo change. Yeah.
You can tell me once more why that potassium and
Here in the product, we need chromium and SO4, right? So the reactant side also the same ion should be required. That's why we skip the potassium and sodium. Okay. Yes. Then second step, identify the atoms which undergo change in oxidation number in the reaction by assigning the oxidation number to all elements. So in the second step, we have to find out the oxidation number of all elements present in this ionic equation. Okay, we know the oxidation number of oxygen. So using this oxidation number, we can able to find out the oxidation number of all other elements. Then in the third step, you have to calculate the increase or decrease in the oxidation number or oxidation state. Here it is chromium plus 6 in the reactant side, it is converted to plus 3 in the product side. So that means it is decreases by plus 3. And for sulfur, it is plus 4, it is converted to plus 6. That means its values increases by plus 2. Okay. Then we have to cross multiply to make the increase or decrease in the oxidation state becomes equal. So here 3 is multiplied with sulfur and this 2 is multiplied with chromium. It should be multiplied in the side in which the atom is less number of atoms. Okay. Here it is 3SO3 2 minus and here it is 2Cr3 plus. Then balance the atoms other than oxygen and hydrogen. So here chromium is already balanced. So we balance the sulfur using multiplying 3 with sulfur, SO3 2 minus. Sorry, here 3SO4 2 minus. Then in the fourth step, check the total ionic charge in the reactant side and in product side. The reactant side it is minus 8 and in the product side it is 0. So to make it neutral, we will add H plus ions to the reactant side. Here it is acidic solution, that's why we are using H plus ions. If in the question it is given us basic solution, you have to add OH minus ions. Okay. So here it is Cr2O7 2 minus plus 3SO3 2 minus plus 8H plus gives 2Cr3 plus plus 3SO4 2 minus. And in the fifth step, make number of hydrogen atoms equal by adding H2O. So in the last step, we have to add H2O to make the number of oxygen and hydrogen atoms become equal. Okay. So that's about the oxidation number method. Now you can just cross check the total number of atoms present in the both sides. Okay, wait. For chromium, here it is 2 and in the product side also 2. And oxygen, here it is 7 and in the product side, wait, not 7. Here it is 7, then 7 plus 3, right? Sorry, 7 plus 9. So it is 16. Then look at the product side. It is 3 into 4, 12. Then 12 plus 4, 16. The next one is sulfur. Sulfur, here it is 3. Here also 3. The next one is hydrogen. Hydrogen, here it is 8. Here also 8. So the total number of atoms are equal on both sides. Then look at the charges. Okay. Here it is minus 2. Wait. Minus 2 plus 3 into minus 2 plus 8. Right. And here it is 2 into 3 plus 3 into minus 2. That's it. So here it is minus 2, then minus 6 plus 8. That will be equal to 0. And here it is 6 minus 6. That will be equal to 0. Now this equation is balanced. Okay. So children, all of you please go through the steps. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the next class. Okay. Clear? Let me take your attendance. Just wait. Okay, children. Then thank you all. See you in the next class. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.